Have you ever been disrespected and wished you knew the perfect way to respond? Don't let someone else's lack of respect shake your sense of worth. Today, we're diving into 8 powerful strategies inspired by Keanu Reeves to help you maintain your self-respect, set firm boundaries, and handle disrespect with confidence. You won't just learn how to deal with rude behavior, you'll reclaim control over yourself. If you've ever faced a similar situation, hit like to let us know. Share this with someone who might need this advice, and follow for more life-changing lessons. Now, let's get started. Whether it's a colleague, a so-called friend, or even a family member, disrespect leaves wounds that linger beneath the surface. It can make you question your self-worth, feel insignificant, or even lose the confidence you worked so hard to build. I know that feeling all too well. I've been in moments where I was disregarded, pushed aside, and treated as though my presence carried no weight. But here's the harsh truth. You do not have to tolerate disrespect from anyone. It is time to stop letting others trample on your dignity and reclaim your power. If you have ever felt used, belittled, or treated unfairly, then it is time to take action. In this journey, I will share with you 8 practical and straightforward strategies to handle people who do not respect you. These are not sugar-coated pieces of advice like, just ignore it and smile through it. I am not here to tell you to be noble or to simply turn the other cheek. I am here to help you take back control. What I am about to share comes from personal experience and the philosophy of Stoicism, a mindset that allows us to stand firm in the storms of life. No fluff, no pretense, just raw and unfiltered truth. If you have ever felt exhausted by being disrespected, now is the time to change that. First, establish your boundaries calmly but firmly. When someone continuously interrupts or talks over you in a conversation, make your stance clear. You can say, I value respect in conversations, and I need you to let me finish my thoughts. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is temporary. What truly lasts is the respect you will earn when you consistently stand up for your boundaries. Second, do not engage in power struggles. Here is a hard truth. People who disrespect you often thrive on creating situations where they hold control. They want to unnerve you, force you into emotional reactions, and drag you into the chaos they orchestrate. But do you know what happens when you react with anger, defensiveness, or frustration? You hand them power. The more you care, the more they win. So, remain composed. Stay steady. Be indifferent. This does not mean you accept disrespect. It means you refuse to let their behavior dictate your emotions. When you maintain your composure, you reclaim your power. It sends a strong message that their tactics to provoke or undermine you will not work. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Let this be your guiding principle. Focus on how you respond instead of trying to change others. The more control you have over yourself, the stronger you become. Next time someone disrespects you, do not argue or try to win. Instead, step away. Respond with calm, logical words, and if necessary, remove yourself from the situation. This not only preserves your dignity, but also strips them of the power they seek. When you no longer play their game, they have nothing left to hold over you. Furthermore, limit your exposure to those who do not respect you. This is one of the most effective ways to protect yourself. Sometimes, you cannot completely avoid disrespectful people. They may be coworkers, relatives, or acquaintances. But what you can do is control the amount of time and energy you give them. I once believed that I had no choice but to endure disrespect simply because I could not entirely remove certain people from my life. But then I realized I could minimize their influence. If it was a colleague, I kept our interactions strictly professional. If it was a friend or relative, I avoided unnecessary conversations or activities with them. I learned to guard my space, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. By limiting exposure, you send a clear message. You will not tolerate disrespect, and you respect yourself enough to not waste energy on those who do not deserve it. Because the more time you spend around negative people, the more drained you will feel. They deplete your energy, drag you down to their level, and make you doubt yourself. But you do not need to make a dramatic announcement about distancing yourself. Simply withdraw quietly. Limit your presence around them whenever possible. The less contact you have with those who disrespect you, the less power they have over your mood, energy, and self-esteem. Fourth, respect yourself enough to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. No one has the right to make you feel small unless you allow them to. One of the most powerful ways to handle disrespect is through silence. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every rude remark deserves a response. In fact, sometimes silence is the strongest answer. Disrespectful people thrive on reactions. They want to provoke you, to make you lose your composure, to drag you into meaningless arguments. But when you refuse to engage, they become disoriented, confused, unsure of how to proceed. Fifth, the strength in silence. Silence is not weakness, it is control. It shows that you refuse to lower yourself to their level or waste your energy on trivial conflicts. You rise above it. I have learned that sometimes the best way to respond to disrespect is to leave it hanging in the air, unanswered, until it fades into insignificance. Do not rush to defend yourself. Do not feel the need to explain. Let your silence speak for itself. The next time someone disrespects you, resist the urge to react immediately. Pause, take a deep breath, and let silence fill the space between you. You will realize that not only does it give you time to regain your composure, but it also forces the other person to confront their own words. And trust me, sometimes silence unsettles them more than any rebuttal you could offer. However, silence does not mean endless tolerance. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, it is crucial to establish clear boundaries. Often, disrespect occurs simply because people do not know your limits, or worse, they assume you won't stand up for yourself. Setting boundaries is not about confrontation, it is about self-respect. There was a time when I thought drawing lines would make me seem unapproachable or even rude. But the truth is, boundaries are a form of self-respect. When you define them, you teach others how to treat you. If you do not set boundaries, others will interpret your silence or hesitation as permission. Do not let that happen. Sometimes, a simple yet firm statement like, "I will not accept being spoken to this way. Please do not interrupt me while I am speaking." These two short sentences can completely change how others interact with you. When you set boundaries, you not only protect yourself, but you also make it clear that their disrespect has no place in the conversation. At first, asserting yourself may feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar, but once you become accustomed to it, you will notice that disrespect gradually disappears. Those who understand will adjust their behavior. Those who refuse to take accountability, they will distance themselves. And that, too, is a way of filtering your environment, leaving only relationships that are truly worth keeping. Sixth, do not let their disrespect define your worth. This is the sixth thing I want to tell you. When someone disrespects you, your first reaction may be anger, disappointment, or even self-doubt. You might ask yourself, did I do something wrong? Do I deserve this treatment? But here is a truth that is hard to accept. The way they treat you reflects who they are, not your worth. Disrespect often stems from their own wounds, insecurities, or bitterness. It is like a distorted mirror. It does not reflect who you truly are, only the cracks within them. I used to let every harsh word, every condescending glance weigh me down. I analyzed every remark, every action, blaming myself, wondering if I had done something to deserve it. But the moment I stopped giving weight to their behavior, when I realized my value was not dictated by how others treated me, but by how I treated myself, it felt like a massive burden was lifted. I understood that the issue was never me, it was them. The cruel words, the disrespectful actions they hurled at me were nothing more than projections of their own internal chaos. I was not the cause. I was merely a reflection of the pain they had yet to confront. This realization changed everything. It was like removing fogged-up glasses and seeing the world with fresh clarity, clearer, lighter. When someone treats you with disrespect, you have two choices: let it wound you or view it objectively, from a distance. I chose the latter. What they say and do is a reflection of them, not of my worth. And most importantly, I have the power to decide how much their words and actions affect me. If I do not give it attention, it loses its power. If I do not let it touch my emotions, it cannot hurt me. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do in the face of disrespect is simply to walk away. No arguments, no justifications, no need to prove anything. Just turn your back and leave. Staying in a toxic environment where your worth is constantly diminished is like allowing tiny drops of water to erode your confidence and self-esteem bit by bit. At first, you think you can endure it, but over time, you realize the damage is seeping into your soul, turning into self-doubt, fear, and even a loss of identity. Walking away is not weakness. On the contrary, it is a bold declaration of self-worth. It is a way of telling the world, I deserve respect. I refuse to be treated this way. And when you rise and step away from a place that does not value you, you're not only protecting your self-respect, but also reclaiming your peace of mind. I once thought that leaving meant giving up, failing, or surrendering. But then I realized this was never about winning or losing. It was about choice, choosing myself. No one forces you to stay and endure disrespect just to prove you are strong. You do not need to grit your teeth and tolerate it or argue endlessly to make someone understand something they have no intention of understanding. Once someone has chosen to belittle you, to disregard your value, no amount of explanation or debate will change them. I learned this lesson the hard way. But when I started walking away, leaving toxic conversations, stepping out of relationships that did not serve me, I found something invaluable: freedom. The freedom to surround myself with respect, with kindness, with people who truly see and appreciate my worth. And that freedom? It is priceless. And that is the greatest victory. Walking away is not always simple. Sometimes it's as small as stepping away from conversation that drains you. Other times, it means making the painful decision to end a long-standing friendship that no longer holds mutual respect. It could be the moment you choose to walk away from a relationship you once believed would last forever, or the turning point when you leave a job that no longer values your worth. Decisions like these are never easy. But one thing I know for certain: protecting my peace has never been a mistake. Some choices, though difficult, are necessary for long-term happiness. Walking away is not just about leaving a bad situation or relationship. It is a declaration of self-worth. When I choose to walk away, I reclaim control over my life, over who deserves my time and energy. I also send a clear message: the respect I have for myself is non-negotiable. The eighth lesson I want to share is this: no matter how strong we are, no one can face everything alone. The constant battle to defend one's worth against disrespectful words and actions is exhausting. The feeling of isolation, the weight of being disregarded, the struggle of standing tall amid dismissive gazes, these things can drain a person, both emotionally and mentally. That's why I cherish those who stand by me. My family, my friends, the people who uplift, respect, and support me. They're my strongest shield against negativity. A circle of good-hearted people does more than provide a refuge. They remind me that I am worthy of love and respect. I cannot count the times I've felt depleted by the lack of respect around me. But whenever I needed a place to rest, my loved ones were always there. They didn't just listen, they strengthened me, reminding me that I was never alone and that I deserve better. When I lacked the strength to stand up for myself, they did it for me, sometimes with just a few words of encouragement, sometimes with a silent but understanding embrace. Because of them, I learned a vital lesson. Strength isn't always about standing alone. Sometimes it's about knowing when to lean on those who truly care. They gave me the courage to walk away from disrespectful situations without guilt or hesitation. They helped me understand that my value is not defined by how others treat me, but by how I treat myself. When I stopped seeking external validation, I realized that my self-respect and inner peace were mine to protect, no one else's to determine. Beyond that, surrounding myself with supportive people helped me build confidence. And as my confidence grew, I learned to handle disrespect with composure and clarity. These people were not just my emotional anchor. They were a reflection of the values I deserved: kindness, respect, and sincerity. They helped me stand firm against those who tried to diminish me, reminding me that no one has the power to harm me unless I allow it. I know I won't always be strong. Sometimes the hurt comes too fast, too deep, leaving me momentarily paralyzed. But the good people around me have created a safe space where I can process, heal, and learn. They listen without judgment, support without control, and help me transform pain into wisdom. They remind me that I'm not defined by anyone's cruelty or indifference. Building a support network often means distancing yourself from toxic relationships. It's not always an easy choice, but it's a worthwhile one. I once heard a saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." When I chose to be around those who uplifted me instead of those who dragged me down, everything became clearer. I began recognizing the signs of disrespect early on, and more importantly, I learned how to say no. Handling disrespect is never easy, but I also know that how I respond defines my worth. If I endure it in silence, I allow it to continue. But if I walk away, if I stand firm in my boundaries, I prove that my self-respect is not up for negotiation. And that is a power no one can take from me. I always remind myself that how others treat me says more about them than it does about me. But how I respond says everything about the respect I have for myself. I have a choice to set clear boundaries, to speak up, to walk away when necessary, or simply to refuse to engage in behavior unworthy of my energy. The power is mine, and I refuse to tolerate anything that diminishes my value. The most important lesson I have learned is this: I deserve kindness, respect, and dignity. If someone cannot offer me that, then it is not just my right, but my responsibility to protect my peace. I no longer allow disrespect to invade my life, nor do I let others determine my worth. When I choose to surround myself with people who uplift me, when I take control of how I allow others to treat me, I'm setting the standard for the respect I expect and deserve. I do not pretend that disrespect will ever completely disappear. It will always exist in different forms. But the difference now is that I know how to face it with confidence, composure, and unwavering self-respect. Cruel words no longer shake me. Disrespectful actions no longer make me question my worth. I understand that those who treat others poorly often carry their own unhealed wounds, but I no longer make myself a casualty of their pain. So the next time I encounter disrespect, I will not shrink in its presence. I have the tools I need to protect myself: confidence, self-respect, and the unwavering support of good people. I will not let anyone dim my light, because I know I am worthy of so much more. Stand tall, hold your head high, honor your boundaries, and always choose yourself first. You deserve respect, recognition, and the best that life has to offer, and that starts with how you see yourself. I know this journey isn't easy. There will be times when you feel tested, underestimated, or even have your worth questioned. But never forget, you are not alone. We are all on a path of learning to love and protect ourselves. And when you find the strength to set boundaries, to say no to what isn't worthy of you, to walk away from what harms you without feeling guilty, that is when you affirm your worth in the most powerful way. If these words can help you or someone out there reclaim their inner strength, share them. Because somewhere, someone might need a reminder that they are worth more than they've been led to believe. Together, we can create a community where respect and support are the foundation, a place where everyone is valued and encouraged to become the best version of themselves. Stay strong, stay true to yourself, and remember, true respect begins within you. And finally, never forget, how others treat you reflects who they are, but how you respond reflects the value you place on yourself. You deserve respect, kindness, and, most importantly, the right to set boundaries that protect your peace. Thank you for watching this video. If you found today's message valuable, leave a like to let us know you appreciate this content. Don't hesitate to share your story in the comments. Have you ever faced a situation where your respect was tested? How did you handle it? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if there's a topic you'd like us to explore in future videos, drop your suggestions below. We're here to dive into meaningful lessons with you, helping you live stronger and more confidently every day.